Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to the Canadian press, Meta announced on Thursday that it is laying off approximately 8,000 workers, representing about 10% of its total workforce. The company attributes these cuts to a push for greater efficiency and a strategic reallocation of resources toward significant investments in artificial intelligence infrastructure and highly compensated AI experts. Meta had previously informed investors that its 2026 expenses would notably increase, reaching an estimated $162 billion to $169 billion, primarily due to these AI-related costs. In a related development, Microsoft also confirmed it is offering voluntary buyouts to thousands of its U.S. employees, with plans to extend offers to about 8,750 individuals, or 7% of its U.S. workforce in early May. This move by Microsoft is similarly linked to the substantial industry-wide spending required for artificial intelligence, aligning with a broader tech sector restructuring. Canadian astronaut Joshua Kutryk is slated to embark on his first space mission to the International Space Station, ISS, later this year, joining NASA's SpaceX Crew 13. This marks him as the 8th Canadian Space Agency astronaut to fly to the ISS and the 4th to undertake a long-duration mission. During his months aboard the station, Kutryk will be involved in a variety of international and Canadian science experiments, with a particular focus on health-related research, as well as space station maintenance and operational duties. The Canadian Space Agency emphasizes that these missions are crucial for deepening humanity's understanding of living and working in the harsh environment of space, particularly as preparations for lunar and potential Mars missions advance. Kutryk, an engineer and former test and fighter pilot, was recruited in 2017 and completed his basic training in 2020. The Canadian press reports that he is expected to launch no earlier than mid-September 2026 from Florida, alongside NASA astronauts Jessica Watkins and Luke Delaney and Roscosmos cosmonaut Sergei Tatar-Yatnikov. This follows Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen's recent return from a lunar flyby mission as part of the Artemis II crew, which traveled farther from Earth than any humans in over 50 years, setting the stage for future deep space exploration. The Union of British Columbia Indian Chiefs, EBCC, is urging the provincial government to halt the progression of two treaties involving the Comox and Kitsalis First Nations. The UBCACZ is advocating for this pause due to significant unresolved territorial disputes raised by neighboring Indigenous communities, specifically the Way-Wy-Cum First Nation, the 9 allied tribes, and the Lax Kw'alaams Band. Grand Chief Stuart Phillip of the UBCAC emphasized that genuine reconciliation cannot be achieved through a unilateral process, highlighting the need for these disputes to be adequately addressed. BCZ Indigenous Relations Minister Spencer Chandra Herbert confirmed that the government has received these requests and acknowledged that while accommodation packages have been developed with some neighboring nations, further work is indeed necessary. He denied that the government is rushing the legislation, noting that similar issues have been successfully navigated in the past as treaty processes continued. Minister Chandra Herbert stressed the ongoing importance of fostering strong relationships between First Nations. The opposing Indigenous groups have stated they are prepared to take legal action and potentially block major provincial projects if the treaties are not paused. This report is from the Canadian press. Global News reports that a U.S. Army soldier, Gannon Ken Van Dyke, has been charged by federal officials for allegedly winning $400,000 in an online prediction market, Polymarket, by betting on the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Van Dyke, a master sergeant and part of the special forces, reportedly used classified information gained from his direct involvement in the planning and execution of the January operation to capture Maduro. The indictment states he signed non-disclosure agreements prohibiting him from divulging sensitive information for personal financial gain. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche emphasized that uniformed personnel are entrusted with classified information for missions and are barred from using it for personal profit, a sentiment echoed by FBI Director Kash Patel, who stressed accountability regardless of position. Canada's top diplomat in Washington, Mark Wiseman, publicly apologized Thursday for distributing an English-only invitation to members of Parliament, an incident that Prime Minister Mark Carney had earlier called unacceptable. Wiseman made his apology during a committee meeting in Ottawa, where he was pressed on contentious issues, including Canada's supply management system and the ongoing trade negotiations with the United States. His appointment was notable in Quebec due to past criticisms of supply management. Despite his previous opinions, Wiseman affirmed his role is to uphold Canadian government policies, emphasizing that supply management is not on the trade negotiation table. The ambassador also addressed concerns about the stalled Canada-US-Mexico agreement, COSMA talks, following comments from U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer suggesting Canada was lagging behind. Wiseman maintained that Canada is ready and willing to engage in any review process, highlighting continuous communication regarding U.S. tariffs. This report is from the Canadian Press. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.